Hello, hello, good morning. I know it's been a couple of days. This is Patty Joe, and I've been working on the sound because I know the last couple of times it's been a little uh, terrible. So I'm hoping that I've made some improvements and we can get started. I'm also trying to step up my game. I have a bit of a script. What I want to cover today is the way Darrell Brooks introduces himself in court because I have a funny feeling we're going to get a whole load of this again. Hopefully, not 3 weeks worth, while he's torturing Miss Erica Patterson again in the next upcoming trial, which I know a hearing or something was held yesterday. I'm going to try to take a look for that. So let's just look at what he says and try to parse out what he's trying to say because I don't even think he knows. Anyway, just my opinion again. Everybody else can chime in with theirs. Come on, lagging, let's go.
Good morning, sir. Please state your name for the record.
I am here as a third-party intervener in that matter, appearing as authorized representative for my client. I accept for value in return for value all of the charging instruments in this matter and make my exemption available for discharge of all obligations and charges connected with this case. I do not dispute any of the facts in these charging instruments, and I do not consent to or agree to being called their name.
Okay. I think a lot of YouTubers call this word salad, and a great deal of it is, but I did look up each piece of it just to see if there's any credibility to any of these statements. First, he says he's a third party intervener in that matter. Well, no, he's not. He's the accused. And he also calls himself the alleged defendant, which just, I don't know about you, but irked me to no end. Okay. And according to the Cornell University dictionary, what I was able to find online, thank goodness, the entry to a lawsuit by a third party into existing civil in capital letters, civil case who was not named as the original party but has a stake. Okay, so he has a stake in it, but he's not admitting to being he's not accepting being the defendant or the accused in the matter as an authorized representative. I've only ever heard about authorized representative being used in my field, the medical field, um, as a part of maybe acting on the part of somebody who is has declined in their mental capacity, or a child, or something like that. I have never heard it in law. I couldn't find it on the internet. I'm not a lawyer. Maybe somebody can say if that is a thing. Other than being an attorney, I'm not sure there is an equivalent. You can be not an attorney and take up for your parents' medical care if they're incapacitated, or obviously your children because they're minors. You don't have to be an attorney to do that. You're just their representative, you know. But in legal terms, I couldn't find any equivalent other than an attorney, which he is not. Okay, so now we get into the fun stuff. Except for value and return for value. And I tried to break that up, but it's really kind of together. And this is a partially, well, this is from the uslegal.com definitions or dictionary. And that's where I got this. And it is a notice to the insurer that the endorser is not providing new value, but is converting the issuer's obligation to pay the instrument into the value, thereby making the instrument negotiable. So he's saying that in regard, I'm guessing, to charging documents, but he says it whenever they hand him a piece of paper as if the piece of paper becomes a negotiable document, which now really makes sense to me now that I'm saying it out loud when I watch those court Zoom cases where people are saying they don't owe um, some kind of rent or something like that, because if they're handed the lease by the issuer, they're thinking that the issuer's accepting and returning for value means the issuer then pays it and it's paid, which is just a bunch of gobbledygook to me. It's just, I wish that was the case. That means that none of us need to pay any bills and all of our money is ours, including taxes. Return for value apparently is within that. So I couldn't break it up into two. It's accepting and returning for value, and it appears to be a lot of word salad, nothing meaningful when you stick it together. He then says, make my exemption available for discharge of all obligations and charges connected to this case. Okay, now I took some notes on this, so forgive me for looking at them. From my research, this appears to be verbal diarrhea with no real meaning. Some sites refer to tax exemptions and some to bankruptcy. So again, he's trying to attach a dollar value. Maybe that gives us a little bit of insight into why he kept asking if people had benefited from, not only were they trying to be paid to testify against him, but were they doing this for their own financial benefit, which is absolutely disgusting in my opinion, because they wouldn't have any debt related to this had he not run everybody over with his mother's car. Perhaps this is an attempt to state that no matter the value, air quotes, of the accepted and returned documents in the previous statement, and no matter the charges, there will be no obligation on behalf of the accused. That's just my guess. I'm not sure. Maybe somebody can explain this sovereign thing. I just don't understand the whole. He was obviously not a sovereign citizen, but okay. I do not dispute any of the facts in these charging instruments. Okay. I found nothing on this as well. The statement is addressing the charging instruments as he's treating this as a civil matter at best. Obviously, a lot of the twisted thinking in the sovereign movement is that they don't have to abide by any laws, but that's ridiculous, because even if I go to another country, I have to abide by their laws or I have a repercussion. As the statement that he does not agree to be called that name, again, air quotes, I love that. I'm going to say that he has never in his past criminal career, lengthy criminal career, stated or shown typical signs of it's kind of like the people who say they're sovereign, they've got these belief systems about how this is all being attached to them, and there's a straw man, but this has not been the case with him in his past criminal arrests and convictions and whatever dealings he's had with the law. Even when he was caught and put into custody,